Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is English Bulletin with me, Yutsa Bhattrai. The top stories first. Health authorities confirm 418 new cases of coronavirus. WHO appeals everyone to maintain physical distance. House panel tells government to increase penalty for acid attackers. Says current punishment are not proportionate to the crime. Vegetable prices skyrocketing in the market. Rainy season blamed for the price hike. UN report reveals startling fact about North Korea. Report says Pyongyang likely has miniature nuclear warheads. And Fulham and Brentford to compete in the Championship playoff final tonight. Winner will grab a prize money of £100 million. And now the news in detail. The traditional Gai Jatra festival is being observed today in the major cities across the country, including the Kathmandu Valley. On this day, people remember their deceased family members and also organize a procession of cows or people dressed as cow in downtown areas of the city. According to the Hindu philosophy, the holy cow is believed to help souls cross the Baitarini river and attain salvation after people die. This festival has great significance among the people of the Newa community. Singing hymns and satirical dramas are also a part of the Gai Jatra festival. The tradition was introduced by the famed king of Kathmandu, Pratap Malla, and a few centuries ago. His wife was saddened by the demise of their son. To make his wife understand that the suffering is a part of everybody's life, Pratap Malla ordered a procession of people who have lost their family members. The queen was still not happy, so he ordered people to enact humorous plays which are still continued to this day. The festival is observed especially in Hanuman Thoka area of Kathmandu, Patan Darbar Square of Lalitpur and Bhaktapur Darbar Square. This festival is also marked in cities like Dolakha, Dhulikhel, Khotang, Bhojpur, Chainpur, Dharan, Narayangarh, Pokhara and Tansen. The locals observe this festival for 8 days. The government has announced public holiday in the Kathmandu Valley today. The total number of people infected with coronavirus in Nepal has crossed 20,700. With the confirmation of 418 new cases on Monday, the total number of cases of coronavirus has reached 20,750. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, the 418 new cases were diagnosed from 7,337 PCR tests conducted in laboratories across the nation. Until yesterday, a total of 14,961 people have returned home after complete recovery from the coronavirus. A total of 5,732 people are being treated in isolation wards across the country, while the death toll has reached 57. Meanwhile, World Health Organization's representative for Nepal, Joyce Vandelier, has appealed to everyone to maintain physical distance among one another to minimize the risk of COVID-19 infection. The infection has lately been on the rise all across the country as people have not been adhering to COVID-19 safety measures, especially after the lockdown was lifted by the government in June. Maintaining social distancing among one another has been the most effective way to stem the virus. However, bustling crowds can be seen in the main markets around the valley and other major cities. Valanda has therefore requested everyone to conduct daily activities by maintaining at least 1 meter distance to curb the infection. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. We continue with other national news. A parliamentary probe committee has directed the government to increase the penalty of offenders involved in acid attacks. Women and Development Committee of the Lower House held an interaction with the victims of acid attack yesterday and concluded that the penalty for acid attackers does not fit the crime. The committee then directed the Home Ministry to bring timely reformations in the existing criminal code regarding the crime. The committee has also directed the Ministry of Women, Children and Senior Citizens to coordinate with the Women's Committee for updating acid attack laws in Nepal.
पीडन तथा एसिड आक्रमण सम्बन्धी कानुनी व्यवस्था र दण्ड सजायलाई समय सापेक्ष परिमार्जन गर्न आवश्यक देखिएकोले सम्बन्धित विद्यमान कानुनमा आवश्यक संशोधन गर्ने कार्यलाई तत्काल अगाडि बढाउन समिति नेपाल सरकार गृह मन्त्रालयलाई निर्देशन गर्दछ। साथै आवश्यक समन्वयका लागि महिला बालबालिका तथा ज्येष्ठ नागरिक मन्त्रालय र राष्ट्रिय महिला आयोगलाई निर्देशन गर्दछ।
The committee has also directed the ministry to manage an immediate response system to address the complaints of acid attacks. The MPs demanded the government to strictly monitor and check the buying and selling of acids in the market. Scores of people gathered outside the Japanese embassy yesterday to obtain no objection letter for returning to Japan for work. It was rather citizens who came back to Nepal on holiday and were left stranded due to the novel coronavirus outbreak. They could be seen waiting for their turn in the long queue for securing the no objection letter. Citizens working and studying in Japan had remained stranded after the air service was banned by the government earlier in March this year to curb the risk of COVID-19 infections. Japan government had recently announced that restrictions for entry of Nepali citizens will end on August 5.
अस्ति जापान सरकारले चाहिँ अगस्त 5 बाट खोल्दै छ उतापटि नेपाली जान पाउँछ भनेछ तर यहाँ चाहिँ खोलेको तपाईलाई अस्ति फ्राइडेबाट हो 1 तारिखबाट।
Japan will, however, not be taking new visa applications for now. Only those individuals working and studying in Japan who came for holiday will be taken back.
जापान जानको लागि जापानले यो 5 तारिखबाट जुन जापानबाट नेपाल आएर बसेर अड्केकाहरूलाई चाहिँ यो 5 तारिखबाट खोलेको छ र नो अब्जेक्सन लेटर लिनको लागि चाहिँ अहिले हामी यहाँ लाइनमा छौं।
Upon receiving the no objection letter from the embassy, an individual's corona report must test negative 72 hours prior to the flight. Although the risk of COVID-19 infections has surged throughout the country, no safety measures were adopted by the crowd except for wearing masks. And now the news from Economic Front. The sharp hike in the prices of vegetables in the recent days has made life difficult for the consumers. Although the reason has been attributed to the rainy season and the gap in the demand and supply of the vegetables, the actual reason for the massive increase seems unjustifiable. A report.
The prices of vegetables in the market have been skyrocketing in the last few days. The massive increase has also affected the vegetable business. Although the prices at the biggest vegetable market in the capital, Kalimati, are slightly less, the retail prices are still off the chart.
तरकारी त अलि महँगै छ अब जे होइन चाहिहाल्यो हामी व्यवसायी मान्छेलाई हैन व्यापार गर्नु पर्यो अब बेच्नु पर्यो महँगो सस्तो जे होइन किन्नै परिहाल्यो नि।
The Kalimati Fruits and Vegetables Development Committee has attributed the increase in the prices of these vegetables to the rainy season when the production is at its lowest. According to the committee, the prices of the vegetables always increase in the rainy season due to low production. This time, the decrease in import from India due to coronavirus pandemic has seen an unprecedented increase in the prices of these vegetables.
बजारमा मागको स्थिति यथावत छ अथवा लकडाउन र अहिलेको कम्पेयर गर्ने हो भने त अहिले चाहिँ बाहिर गएका मान्छेहरू अधिकांश फर्किसक्नु भएको छ। बन्द भएका होटल रेस्टुरेन्टहरू सञ्चालनमा आइसकेको छ। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि माग पनि वृद्धि भइरहेको अवस्था हो र त्यसको असर भनेकै अब मूल्यमै हो जाने।
Local businessmen say that the prices initially dropped when the lockdown was imposed because of the drop in demand. However, with the lockdown now over, the demand for vegetables has increased from hotels and restaurants as well, which has put the stress on the market prices. The vegetable sellers also argue that the vegetable supply chain is not well maintained in Nepal, so grading, packaging and labeling are not done. Therefore, any damage to the product during the supply chain has to be borne by the retailers, and thus the prices are adjusted accordingly.
उत्पादन थोरै हुन्छ अहिले अब माग भन्ने त खाने मान्छेले त त्यति नै खाइरहेको छ नि हिउँद होस् कि बर्खा होस् खाने मान्छे त त्यति नै छ नि अनि अब हिउँदमा धेरै उत्पादन हुन्छ अहिले बर्खामा चाहिँ अब थोरै उत्पादन हुन्छ खाने मान्छेको मुख त्यति हो भन्दाखेरि त्यो सामानलाई महँगो परिरहेको कारण चाहिँ त्यो हो के
Weak monitoring by the authorities and the inclusion of middlemen at all levels of the supply chain has further increased the gap between the vegetable farmers and the end consumers and the prices they pay. Therefore, it is important that the concerned authorities take notice of these discrepancies.
We'll be taking a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international and sports news. Welcome back, and now to international news. A confidential UN report says North Korea is pressing on with its nuclear weapons program, and several countries believe it has probably developed miniaturized nuclear devices to fit into the warheads of its ballistic missiles. According to The Telegraph, the report by an independent panel of experts monitoring UN sanctions said the countries which it did not identify believed North Korea's past 6 nuclear tests had likely helped to develop miniaturized nuclear devices. Pyongyang has not conducted a nuclear test since September 2017. The interim report was submitted to the 15-member UN Security Council North Korea Sanctions Committee on Monday. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea is continuing its nuclear program, including the production of highly enriched uranium and construction of an experimental light water reactor, the report said. North Korea's mission to the United Nations in New York did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the UN report. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said last week there would be no more war as the country's nuclear weapons guarantee its safety and future despite unabated outside pressure and military threats. North Korea has been subjected to UN sanctions since 2006 over its nuclear and ballistic missile programs. People across Britain enjoyed half-price meals yesterday as the government launched its Eat Out to Help Out scheme aimed at driving up business in the shattered hospitality industry after months of coronavirus lockdown. According to Reuters, diners are entitled to a 50% discount on food and non-alcoholic drinks to eat or drink in. They can also avail up to maximum of £10 discount per head every Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday between August 3 and August 31st. The offer, expected to cost £500 million, is open to diners in participating restaurants, cafes, bars, pubs, work and school canteens and food halls. More than 72,000 restaurants have registered, Finance Minister Rishi Sunak said. You're watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Championship playoff final, which is considered as the richest game in football, is set to be played tonight. Brentford will play Fulham for the chance to return to the English top flight for the first time in 73 years and earn about £160 million in the process. The West London rivals, separated by just 4 miles, meet in Championship playoff final at Wembley. Fulham could seal an immediate return to the Premier League. Victory in the match, often dubbed as the richest game in football, would be worth £135 million to Fulham and about £160 million to Brentford over the next 3 years. Brentford finished third in the table, 1 place above Fulham on goal difference, and won both league meetings during the regular campaign. If they fail to win, the Bees will have taken part in more unsuccessful playoff campaigns in the English Football League than any other club, with their 9th attempt. Meanwhile, players who deliberately cuff at other players or match officials can be red-carded, say football's rule makers and the Football Association. The International Football Association Board, IFAB, said such an offence fall within using offensive, insulting, abusive language and or gestures, BBC reported. The statement further read, as with all offences, the referee has to make the judgment about the true nature of the offence. The guidance comes amidst the global coronavirus pandemic. The FA also issued guidance for grassroots football, which will come into force immediately. In terms of Premier League and English Football League, there is no written guidance, and it would be down to referees' discretion as to the degree of punishment. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Health authorities confirm 418 new cases of coronavirus. WHO appeals everyone to maintain physical distance. House panel tells government to increase penalty for acid attackers, says current punishment not proportionate to the crime. Vegetable prices skyrocketing in the market, rainy season blamed for the price hike. A UN report reveals startling facts about North Korea. Report says Pyongyang likely has miniature nuclear warheads. And Fulham and Brentford to compete in the Championship playoff final tonight. Winner will grab prize money of £100 million. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.